Hi everyone, let's talk market stats. Lots of changes that I've been seeing in the market. A lot of stuff going on out there. Not all of it is doom and gloom, as if you would read in the paper, the sky is falling, but I'm here to tell you it's not. What I am going to tell you is the significant change that we have seen is market time is going up, so it takes longer to sell. And I caveat everything I'm going to say here in a moment. So it takes longer to sell, anywhere from 60 to 120 days, depending on your price bracket and where you are. And we are back to you must win the beauty contest and be priced right. There is no more Velcro pricing, meaning you stick it up at any price thinking somebody's going to come along and buy it because they're just not smart and they're not looking at sales comps. Because in the current market, people are sensitive to the interest rate. Now, the good news is that the Fed decided not to hike it again, which is fabulous. In certain price ranges, the interest rate drastically affects what people can buy. In the luxury market, it doesn't really matter. So there is that difference in the market. Some of the other things that I'm seeing, and then I'll get into some particular stats. The first one is don't let anybody give you doom and gloom or tell you how bad the market is. We're selling homes every day. We're still putting them under contract and we're still going to the title company. So I don't know what real estate they practice, but it's different than the one we practice. The other good news is there are areas of town that sometimes sell in the first weekend and are still getting multiple offers. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you want to sell your home, you do need to plan for a little bit of time, and we need to make sure that you're specifically ready and follow what we like to call our pre-listing, get it ready for the market, and make sure that we're the first choice when people are out the gate looking. Now, let me go through some of the stats with you. What I can tell you is new home sales is way up. Overall, you're going to hear in the media that inventory is down. That is true. That has been what has been keeping us in a seller's market. We are moving out of that more towards a balanced market, but here's Missy's 2 cents and perspective on that market. It is back to being cyclical. This time of year, we have less people that buy than starting in the spring. Now, COVID years, 2 years ago, it didn't matter when you put it on the market. Everybody was moving because they could remote work and do everything else. Well, that's changed. People are having to go back. We do not have so many Californians moving in or others from other places. We've kind of hit the peak on that. And so you have people that are moving here still buying. They are eating up the inventory. Lots of you have low interest rates on your home, so you're not interested in moving at this time. So that is keeping the inventory suppressed. That means prices are staying steady. That's what that means. It does not mean that you're going to sell overnight. It may take a little bit longer. And remember, I caveated that earlier. Now, with new homes selling like crazy because they are offering low interest rates. So instead of giving buyers incentives today, they are using that money to buy the interest rate down. Some of them will give a locked in 30-year interest rate. Others are doing a 2-1 buy down, which in my opinion just kicks the ball down the road for you to be able to refinance and get you in a house. I caution anyone looking at a 2-1 buy down or a lesser time frame that to make sure that in year 3 you can still afford that payment and are comfortable with it in case refinancing doesn't come around. So building is still strong, new home sales is still strong, resale is still strong ultimately in the end. Closings are still at about a 30 to 45 days to get to closing. Now let's cover some of the specific stats. I'm going to read some of this because this was more than I could memorize today. Total sales are down, and that is typical for this time of year. That does not mean pricing is decreasing, because I'm not seeing that. Pricing is still holding very firm if you are priced right to start with. it. If you're Velcroing, your price will come down. Average sales price is $385,210. Currently, that's no change from last month. Close to original list price. And here's where we shine on our team. Right now, across Sabor, it's 94% from list price to sold price. We're proud to say we're less than 3%, and a lot of it, we're still hanging out at less than 2% from list price to sold price. Days on market are up, which we've already talked about. 64 is the average. Again, I'm going to tell you it's 60 to 120 depending upon the price range. And they say the price per square foot has come down, and that is down 3% over last year to $180 a foot. Months of inventory, 4.3, and that's 30 days behind. You're going to see some of those months of inventory when I break down the areas is a little different. And the average rental right now is $1,812 a month. Just so you know, across the board in Texas, there's been over 24,000 sales. That is down 14% over last year. Average price is up 2%, and median price is only down 1.1%. So not any doom and gloom there. Now let me break down months of inventory, because this is where it's very important to pay attention to if you're listing your home. Calabria to 90 is now at 5.35 months. Calabria to IH10 is 4.36. IH10 to 281 is 4.25, and I want to note that that's probably one of the strongest markets inside 1604, outside 410, 281, back to I-10 or I-10 to 281, whichever way you want to say it, is one of the strongest markets, still with somewhat of a shortage of a home, and you can see things disappear in the first weekend still. From map area 3 and 4, which we're going to give you guys the grid for this so that you'll understand it, 4.43 still strong, and basically that's Bandera Road down to 90. Then we have Bernie area, that's at 5.89. That market we are seeing softening a little bit. And then Garden Ridge, that area all around Garden Ridge back to 281 just north, has got a little bit more of a buyer's market coming on because of the months of inventory that is there. Again, I caveat everything. It depends upon your price range. I'll end with this. If you are competing with builders, it is tougher to sell right now because they are offering lots of incentives for people to get a lower interest rate. You as an individual reseller can do that also. That is one of the things we talked to you about. Plus, if you have an assumable loan, that is another great option to find a buyer quickly, especially if you don't have $300,000, $400,000 worth of equity. You have a smaller amount of equity that makes that more desirable. So that's the market stats this month. There is a change. It's still a great real estate market. Don't let anybody tell you anything else. The biggest thing I've seen is we are back to being cyclical, and it's taking a little bit longer to sell. I'm Missy Stegers, broker owner of M. Stegers Realty Partners, and if there's ever anything we can do to answer your questions or help you or talk to you about putting your house on the market, please let us know.